Weverse Live Tonight suddenly exploded with millions of viewers in just minutes. But it wasn't just because Jungkook showed up out of the blue, it was because of one spontaneous stunt he did against BTS V aka taehyung. Armies all over the world are in turmoil. What exactly happened around 2012 Korea Standard Time? Jungkook appeared on Weverse Live in a relaxed atmosphere, a plain white t-shirt, wet hair like a shower, and a small smile that greeted millions of fans. He was seen sitting alone with a glass of water and said, "I just miss you." However, just 5 minutes later, the atmosphere immediately changed. Jungkook suddenly opens his phone and shows his private chat screen. The name taehyung appears and a short message is written. "You're on Weverse Live? I'm watching." Jungkook's reaction instantly changed. He laughed a little, looked at the camera, then said quietly, "Hyung, do you want me to tell the army what you sent earlier?" Shortly after, he turned the camera to the phone screen and showed an old photo, a candid photo of the two of them sleeping on BTS's old dorm couch. Fans immediately went crazy, and an atmosphere full of nostalgia. Jungkook suddenly pulled out a piece of paper from under the table. In a low voice, he said, "Hyung sent this last week, but I only got to read it now." He then reads a letter handwritten by taehyung, the contents of which are very touching. "Jungkook, I know we're busy and the military separates a lot of things, but there's not a day that I don't think about how proud I am to see you continue to grow. Thank you for being a strong sister, although sometimes stubborn." The atmosphere is harrowing. ARMY in the comments began flooding live with crying emojis, hearts, and the lines, "Taehyung is real, young love," and "Why are you making us cry loudly crying face?" Virtual kisses and promises of reunion, but the highlight is when Jungkook looks at the camera, leans over, and says, "This is for you, Hyung," then gives a flying kiss to the screen. The action was spontaneous, sweet, and made the comment column really explode. Not stopping there, he added, "Let's go live together after you're done. Taehyung Hyung. ARMY would love to see us duet again." ARMY Gijin, trending globally in 3 minutes. It only took 3 minutes since the flying kiss appeared. The hashtags Taehyung Weverse Live, Jungkook Taehyung, and JK4B immediately shot to the top of the global Twitter X trends. Fans began sharing video footage, screenshots of Taehyung's message, and letters read aloud. Some comments fans, "Crazy. This is the most emotional live I've ever watched. They really love each other." Taehyung even sent a letter to Jungkook. "The army is not strong. We don't need drama. All we need is Taehyung and his flying kiss." Failed to move on before closing his live. Jungkook said, "Hyung, you're watching, right? I know you must be smiling right now." He then sang a little song, "Sweet Night," the OST of the drama Itaewon Class performed by Taehyung himself. His voice was quiet and full of emotion, as if it were a longing speech that was not spoken direct. What began as a casual live broadcast turned into an emotional moment between two friends separated by state duty, but still connected by a strong bond. Jungkook didn't just greet ARMY tonight. He also conveyed his love, longing, and deep respect for a distant but close Taehyung. ARMY, stand by. If tonight is a teaser, then when the two reunite later, the world will be shaken again. Purple Heart Weverse Live Tonight became a field of surprises and unexpected emotional outbursts for millions of ARMY around the world. Exactly 5 minutes after the live began, Jungkook, BTS's golden magnet, did something that made many people hold their breath and their hearts pound hard. Moments that initially seemed ordinary turn into memories that will be embedded in the history of fandom forever. A sudden change of heart. Jungkook began his live broadcast without announcement. ARMY, who was relaxing, suddenly received a notification. Jungkook is live now. Thousands, then millions of ARMY immediately invaded Weverse. In an instant, the audience numbers jumped dramatically. Jungkook appears with an innocent face, wet hair, and a simple white t-shirt. He sat in the corner of the room with a warm glow, his face full of calm. "Hello," he said slowly. Looking at the screen, it didn't take long for the audience to realize that something was different that night. Jungkook seemed to be grasping something in his hand, a piece of paper that looked crumpled at one end. The name Taehyung appears on the screen 5 minutes after the live began. Jungkook held his phone and showed a short chat he got from someone named taehyung. All know it refers to Kim Taehyung, aka BTS's V, who is currently undergoing military service. Taehyung's message reads, "Are you alive? I'm watching. Don't say anything weird, haha." Jungkook's reaction? A small laugh, then a look that turned wistful. He said, "Hyung, can I read your letter now?" The handwritten letter that left the army's speechless. Jungkook opened the neatly folded letter and began to read it. His voice was quiet, almost whispering. The camera approaches, revealing the expression of his teary eyes. Here is Taehyung's letter. "Jungkook, our world may be busy and the military separates us temporarily. But there's not a single day I don't think about you. I'm proud of you for continuing to work, keep laughing, and keep being who you used to be. Thank you for being a sister who is always there even though sometimes stubborn. See you later. I'll keep my promise." We sing together again. After reading the letter, Jungkook just fell silent. Her tears almost fell, but she held back. He looked at the camera and said, "Hyung, you know I've been waiting for you, right?" The virtual kiss that shook the world the next moment was so brief, but shaking. Jungkook leaned toward the camera, smiled sweetly, and gave a flying kiss. "This is for you, Hyung," he said. The army exploded. Comments came from all over, from Korea to Brazil, from Indonesia to Egypt. "Taehyung is real" was trending #1 on X, Twitter, beating the ongoing Women's World CU old dorm nostalgia and photo memories. Not stopping there, Jungkook showed a photo sent by Taehyung last week. The photo shows the two of them sleeping on the debut-era BTS dorm sofa. Their faces looked tired, but leaned against each other. Hyung sent this and said, "We used to be like this, now you're really mature. I smiled all night because of this photo. Sweet night, sweet song." In one of the most emotional moments, Jungkook picked up the guitar that was behind his chair and began strumming notes. He sang a few verses of Sweet Night, Taehyung's solo song for the Itaewon Class OST. Jungkook's soft voice meets the broadcast. "I just wanna be happier. Is this too much to ask?" Army fell silent, glued to the screen. Some even wrote, "I watched while crying." They are too sincere to promise for reunion before ending the broadcast. Jungkook made a promise that was met with a roar in the comments. "Oh, honey, we'll be together when you get home. I want to sing the same song as before." He smiled and waved, then closed the live with one last sentence. "Army, until that time comes, we will take care of Taehyung's heart together." The world reacts. Social media exploded. The clip from the live went everywhere. Weverse recorded the highest jump in active users this year. The army community around the world made a compilation of videos in memory of that moment. Even mainstream media such as Naver, Dispatch, and Rolling Stone Korea began to highlight this live as a rare warm moment between BTS members. Taehyung, from military headquarters, replies with a smile hours after the broadcast ended.